Coach Bo here with 8020baseball.com with another Diamond Insight series video. We're helping youth players, baseball players learn the game faster. One of the biggest concerns youth coaches have, baseball coaches have, is that their players are not learning the game. They're not learning the game fast enough. So instead of relying on just a bunch of reps or happenstance in these situations to come about enough and get enough reps in game situations, we're going to talk about them here on the big screen so players can see these. Share these videos with your players. I have two videos from the same player, same game, showing what I would say is probably not the right way versus what is the right way to go back on a ball. Now, these fly balls are not exactly the same, but let's take a look. If I were to tell you this center fielder right here, who I am super impressed by, he's coming along really nicely, all facets of his game. If I were to tell you this center fielder had a fly ball coming to him that was going to land right around here, would you believe me? Let's take a look at this play and what we can learn from it. And then we're going to watch the same center fielder, Andy Pages, make a similar play and do it in a way that I feel is a much better option for outfielders. Let's take a look. Hits this ball really well. So you see what happens here? I think he commits to running backward and turning and running too soon and for too long. Outfielders, we only want to turn our back on the ball if it's do or die, if we have no other option, as a last resort. We don't want to take our eye off the ball unless it's an absolute last resort, or if we've given up on actually catching the ball. You'll see that sometimes, right? Outfielders will just turn and run because they know they're not going to catch the ball. They got a good read. They saw where it's going to land, and they know it's not catchable, at least by them. They just turn and book it. That's cool. But this ball was very catchable, especially for a guy like Andy Pages, who's really good. He's got good movement, pretty athletic. He can go get the ball. So young outfielders, rule of thumb, only turn your back if it's flat out do or die, or if you've literally given up right off the bat that the ball is not catchable. Off the bat, if you think it's catchable at all, we can't take our eye off the ball that long, if at all. And there's a better way to go back on the ball. It's more like a DB. I think about this like an NFL defensive back. You are only turning and running hard when you got beat. If you get beat, you got to turn and go, right? That's not where we want to be. A defensive back does a back pedal, but it's like a karaoke back pedal. They're running backward fast, but they're running backward with their eyes or at least slightly turned, picking up the ball as it's coming. So they're tracking the ball, but making good progress backward. Is it as fast as turning and running? No, but it can be done if it's trained right. 8020baseball.com. The coaching system has this built into the warm-up routine. If you don't train this movement, how do we expect our outfielders and even infielders to make this play? Now, he's very skilled, but if this happens at the youth level or even the high school level, there's a good chance that fly ball does not get caught, because this is a very athletic move right here. This is in slow motion, of course, but this is a very athletic move right here. The ability to swivel the hips and get back on the dirt. That's a good play right there. That's an athletic play. A lot of younger players, a lot of younger outfielders are not going to get away with that. So outfielders, we only want to take our eye off the ball in those rare circumstances. Coaches, we need to train outfielders to move efficiently backward. Let's take a look at Andy Pages in the same game. Do a more efficient path toward the ball while keeping his eyes on the ball. In this next video, you'll see it's not quite straight back, but it'll give you a good idea of what it should look like. Much better right there. Let's take a look in slow-mo at how he gets back to this ball. He keeps his eye on the ball the entire time. He's running backward, but he's not fully turned around. If we train our players to run, say, this direction while keeping their eyes turned, they'll learn to run this way, and they'll do it. It just needs to get repped and trained. My experience with all types of athletic ability, they can all do it. Some just go slower than others. But I'd rather have an outfielder go back on the ball slow than just completely lose it. This movement should be trained because infielders use this too. Infielders actually use this movement probably more than outfielders. All your players should be trained at doing this movement, running backward while turning their head and looking back this way, picking up the fly ball, picking up a line drive. All right, this has been Coach Bo with the Diamond Insight series, talking about how outfielders should go back on the ball and only turning their back in those rare circumstances, only out of absolute necessity. Oh yeah, and one more tip. While running backward like that, we really want to run with our eyes, with our head smooth, not bobbing up and down. So when we train this with our players, we're training them to run smoothly. Like a wide receiver or a tight end, you want to train them to run smoothly. If the eyes are bouncing, it really makes it hard to track the ball. All right, there's a lot more at 8020baseball.com on how to play the game of baseball better.